Visiting Team Jordan Brand Classic, presented by American Family Insurance. We are at Barclays Center, the home of the Brooklyn Nets, and today, the home of some of the future stars of college basketball. We begin our doubleheader with the girls' game. 24 of the top high school seniors in the nation, 12 on the black team, 12 on the white team, here in Brooklyn. Kevin Brown, so thrilled to be with you on this Sunday. Brooke Weisbrod will join us momentarily. We're going to see players who are heading to some of the best programs in the nation. Baylor, Texas, the defending champs Notre Dame, and Connecticut. We'll start with our #1 player in the ESPN W100, Kristen Williams, the Gatorade Player of the Year out of Central Arkansas Christian in Little Rock, Arkansas. She was with McDonald's MVP, and she is standing by with Brooke Weisbrod. Brooke?
Thank you very much. Yes, I am here with Kristen, the #1 player in the country in high school, who is headed to Connecticut. And Kristen, you know, you've had a chance really the last 2 weeks to play against some of the best competition you'll see at the next level. What kind of things are you learning about your teammates?
About my teammates that I'll be playing with in college? Olivia is going to be a great asset to UConn. She can really run the floor, and I'm really excited to play with her.
You know, one of the big hashtags here is about who's next. So I'm asking you a little bit like not humble right now. Tell me why you're next.
I'm next because I'm relentless. I'm very determined, and I just play ball.
That's what they like to hear at UConn. That's why Shea Ross said you have got to see this girl play. You're about to see her right now.
All right, thanks, Brooke. Thanks, Kristen. We're really excited to see Kristen Williams, #1 overall in the class. #1 is in this game. #2, Charlie Collier. #3, Shakira Austin. Top 6 girls, in fact, in our ESPN W100, and 6 to the top 21 in the country. Here's the lineup for the visiting team in the black jerseys: Williams, Jenna Brown, Zay Green, Queen Egbo, and Shakira Austin, who's again the #3 player in the country. And we will get you the white team's lineup shortly. 4 to 10-minute quarters in this game, and the first points will go to the away team, the black team, with Zay Green, #4 guard in the class, headed to Tennessee.
I like that instant offense. Listen, these ladies have had nearly 2 weeks to work together. There's a lot of chemistry, but most importantly, it's competitive.
Shakira Austin with putback. What do you want to see as a fan in this game?
I want to see good ball movement. I want to see players being out there being competitive and showing us some of the skill set that got them here, right? These are the best players in high school. So let's see what got them there. Let's see some outside shooting from Shakira Austin. Great move to the basket. But things like finishing those types of plays, that's what I want to see.
White team with the ball right now. Charlie Collier denied. Smothered underneath by Queen Egbo. Great shot blocker headed to Baylor. The home team in the white jerseys: Caitlin Gilbert, Flying Higher, Fighting Irish national champs Mackenzie Forbes, Emily Engstler, Charlie Collier, #2 player in the class, and Olivia Nelson-Ododa, #5. We are hoping once again, as we hoped at McDonald's Week, to see Olivia throw one down in a game. She threw one down yesterday at the end of practice.
Sure did. The ladies, there's a lot of ladies out there grabbing the rim. Olivia was the only one to successfully put it down. So I spoke to the officials before the game. I said, I don't know what you have to do to hold everybody else back, but can we create a fast break? Something? We got to relive this. I mean, these are the kind of moments we talk about what's next. Her dunking is what's next. Ladies taking off in the middle of the paint. We are there.
Queen Egbo is strong. Prince had some nice chances yesterday as Emily Engstler into the Syracuse finishes. #11 player in the class, #2 wing from not too far from here in Brooklyn, St. Francis Prep High School.
Now, Whitty, you know, she understands the nuances of the game, and she can use angles.
Zay Green to the misfire and a tie-up underneath with Nelson-Ododa involved. 44 in white, Olivia Nelson-Ododa. This was at the end of practice yesterday.
Yep. Got up, threw it down, and it doesn't matter if it's the first time or 100. You got to get everybody hyped. Teammates into it, and you know, she had gone through it a couple times and didn't get the dunk down, but incredibly, when everybody got into it, pulled up the energy, started clapping, yelling her name, that's when she was able to throw it down. So, you know, don't tell me the power voice doesn't do something. Got her hyping up to throw it down.
And it was at the end of not a
2-hour practice,
but a fairly involved practice. Moving up and down the floor, scrimmaging. So I don't care if it took her a couple of opportunities.
That was good. Yeah, that's such a great element to her game, and knowing how to finish, not just but above it.
This is Queen Egbo, one of five-star players in this class, headed to Baylor. Bears have dubbed themselves the Fierce Five, the #1 class in the nation. She misses both. The rebound is cleaned up by Shakira Austin, who will head to the free throw line.
Well, you're right about that. Baylor, wow. Kim Mulkey is getting a rich class. Queen Egbo, she's athletic, she's powerful, very graceful. And at the line right now, Shakira Austin, headed to Maryland. Another player with great size and great mobility.
It's a nice week for Bob Mackey, who's the head coach at Christ the King, to get to coach some of these future superstars. Two-time National Coach of the Year for Christ the King High School here in the city.
He's so cool. Like, he's so laid back. And
He still literally has the media language.
Right. It's like, listen,
You're on the sideline, Bob.
you're allowed in the building. You know what? I still put mine on in case security gets a little excited and want to know what I'm doing walking around.
Come on, you're a Hall of Famer. We should all know who you are at this point.
I got pulled off the practice floor yesterday, my friend.
It's true.
Nobody knows who I
Can
am.
confirm. Nelson Adota, 44 on this white home team. This is Emily Extler missing a long one, and Austin will give way to Kristen Williams for the rebound. Top player in this class, headed to Connecticut out of Little Rock, Arkansas.
And that was such a subtle moment. As you see a great block by Nelson Adota. Kristen Williams was on a fast break, ahead of some of the defense, but she didn't have great numbers. So instead of trying to force something, she crossed it up, brought the ball back out, called for a ball screen. Those are the kind of things that Gino Auriemma and his staff are watching, which I'm sure they probably are. That's what you want to see. Is she making the right decisions with the ball in her hand?
Shakira Austin's miss is cleaned up. Ashley Jones headed to Iowa State, top 20 player in this class with her first bucket. Nelson Adota at the other end denied. It was Jenna Brown who got in there for the rejection. Point guard headed to Stanford. Austin left it long in the drive.
Great rebound there by Jenna Brown. She's headed to Stanford, really strong guard. That was a big moment.
Jones looking for her second bucket. A lot of opportunities for the black team. Nelson Adota will not dunk this one, but muscle it home for two.
Notre Dame to UConn. They can be friends.
For now.
That's right. It all stops at college. I mean, I know players are friends these days a lot because of social and you really get to know each other, but can we get some back more of that old school competitiveness? Like, I hate you if I'm playing against you. There's just no other way to it. There's three.
Elizabeth Balagoon at Georgia Tech, 6-foot guard from Hamilton Heights in Tennessee, one of two Georgia Tech commits in this class, or this game. Balagoon and Elizabeth Dixon both playing for the home team of the white jerseys.
Yep, good placement. Oh!
Shakira Austin with the denial.
You can hear it. You can hear the ball, you can hear her. We got a lot of size in this game. Protecting the paint has become primary early on in this first quarter. Great sprinting the floor. Look at her come back from outside. Good timing.
You know what I loved about watching Shakira Austin yesterday, who was the number 3 player in the class. She is 6'5", she's got those long arms and great height, but she can take the ball up, she can shoot a little bit from outside. She's not just a true back to the basket post player. She can do a lot of different things.
She's got some handles. You're seeing that with Extler here. Oh, finish! Yeah! That's a cue scrap about to be right there. Wow. An alum, you must be so proud. She's headed to my university.
I'm just proud that you made it back into your seat. I thought you were going to end up on the ceiling. Brooke out of her chair.
Right, you put a body cam over here.
We need a White Road ISO cam.
Sean, if I can't say anything, I'm going to shove you. Like, I don't know. Too much energy.
Balagoon with a nice pass fake. Elizabeth Balagoon with her second basket.
Speaking of versatile.
9 in a row for the white team ends right there as Austin goes off the glass.
Great flow to this game, right? With the hustle and defense, a lot of blocks inside of the paint. But we're really starting to see this game open up offensively. I like it.
Nelson Adota missing 3, and her future college teammate Kristen Williams with the rebound. Williams, the MVP of the McDonald's All-American game, looking for her first basket after 22 in that game down in Atlanta. Gatorade National Player of the Year at the line when we return.
Saucy!
How about that? You got an adjective for that one?
I'll go for me.
Back to the Jordan Brand Classic here at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Some terrific shot blocking early on. Olivia Nelson-Ododa, 6'4" post player from Whitner Barrow High School in Georgia. It is a small UConn class, but it is still the #2 class in the country. Williams, the #1 guard and #1 player, and Nelson-Ododa, the #1 post player.
Yeah, and I think, for UConn, you're getting the best talent available, and you're getting players who fit into the system well. So we've already mentioned Kristen Williams, small thing but made a big decision, not overdoing it here in the first part of the game. And I like the mentality of these two players because they don't get rattled, they don't get too excited, they don't get too low, just very stable, confident body language when they step on the floor. Of course, when you can throw a dunk down the way that Olivia does, you got that quiet confidence, you can carry it around.
It's a UConn team that has a few major losses this year. Missouri Stevens declared for the WNBA draft. Gabby Williams, Kia Nurse will be leaving stores. And UConn's going to be great, but it's possible they'll need a little bit more from their freshmen this year than in previous years just because of those key departures.
Gino's been there with his staff. He's demanded a lot out of his young team. And teams with freshmen have still gotten to the national championship. What was weird was seeing the way too early preseason rankings for next year. UConn at 4. Like,
right. I understand they lost 3 players, but they're still
a UConn. But you got to give respect to Notre Dame. You got to give respect to Baylor. They've got a terrific class, and that's the wave of basketball. So perhaps what we saw this year with Arike Olumawale making the impossible possible with her 2 shots to win the title for Notre Dame. Like, it's becoming way more competitive. The parity is there. I think we can both agree that the women's tournament was way more competitive than the men's tournament.
Especially at the end of the tournament with that Final Four, not even close. Valencia Myers had the last basket into Florida State for the black team. Now Madison Williams, future Oklahoma Sooner, with a steal. Williams has really stood out over the last couple of weeks in these All-Star games. Sedona Prince headed to Texas is bumped and fouled. James Anderson, head coach for the home team of the white jerseys, St. Anthony's High School in Carson, California. Both coaches with a similar fashion sense of rocking their credential around their neck.
Maybe it's like a chain, it's going to be a new thing.
I don't know. Miami football had the turnover chain.
Yeah, exactly.
The turnover credential. Sedona Prince at the line. Couple of big players head to the Longhorns. Prince at 6'7", #3 post player. Charlie Collier, #1 forward. 3 for 3 in ESPN W100 commits. And the Longhorns are only behind Baylor and UConn in the class rankings.
Sedona is going to be a great addition to Karen Aston's club. She's got a great personality in her stat line coming into the postseason. 22 points, 8 rebounds, 6 blocks. Moves really well for a big. Passes, has that vision. Just block there, double team.
Let's see Myers with a rejection. Future Florida State Seminole. And that Texas front line. You think about the next few years. Collier at 6'5", Prince at 6'7", with the different things they can do as Charlie Collier heads to the line. It's a Texas team that made the Sweet 16 this year, 28-7, and has an awfully bright future in Austin.
Texas is one of those teams where you could look at them at any point in the year and say, the way they're coached, the talent they have, the size and athleticism, you always feel that there's a possibility for a Final Four run. And just so much size and talent. It just depends on really who gets hot at the end of the year. Who would have thought? Notre Dame, 4 ACL tears. Okay, I see the vision. But Notre Dame, 4 ACL tears, 3 losses, they win the national championship. Truly incredible.
Last basket is from Akira DaCosta, and here is Honesty Scott Grayson. That's back-to-back buckets from Baylor Dare signees. Part of that 5-girl class for Baylor. All 5 are 5 stars for the #1 class in the nation.
Yeah, Honesty Scott Grayson, she decided she was going to Baylor on the plane to Waco. And I was thinking about the uniforms and wearing it and just what I was going to be when I got to Baylor. So that's, that's exciting. If you're having those kind of visions and moments, you really see the impact you're going to have at the university.
How often do you make a life-changing decision on a plane?
I don't think I've ever done that. I mean, you really got to be in a deep sleep and then all of a sudden wake up and you're like, wow, this moment's going to hit me.
Yeah. So honesty's got you beat.
Maybe she was like reading one of the catalog magazines that it came to. In a dull moment.
878 of American Way.
Right? A moment of presence.
Hidden message.
What do you got?
Akira DeCosta, number 4 overall player in the class, the top of those 5 players headed to Baylor. Number 1 wing in the country, 6'2", from St. Mary's, California. There are 2 Baylor players on each of these teams here in this Jordan Brand Classic. DeCosta and Queen Egbo on the black team. And Alyssa Smith along with Scott Grayson for the white team. Here is the aforementioned Smith with a miss. Putback is there and a foul as Elizabeth Dixon went up. One of the surprises of this recruiting cycle has been the job done by Georgia Tech, Michelle Joseph. Dixon at the line, Elizabeth Balagoon, her teammate in this game. Both 5-star players for a Georgia Tech team that has missed the NCAA tournament 4 consecutive years, but finds itself with a top 10 class.
Yeah, Georgia Tech's about to be stacked. And Dixon at 6'5", you're getting someone who got to play against her older brother when she was younger. She's got that next level athleticism, and I love what she does pregame. She actually meditates. Right? Get herself calm and complete before you take the floor.
Madison Williams trapped and turns it over. Here's Alyssa Smith. Do you meditate?
I do meditate, actually. Yeah? Yes, I do.
To calm you down as well?
It does. I
meditate before excellent on the back.
Can you imagine if I didn't meditate, what level I'd be on in here? I'm a hyper woman. That's how it goes.
Jasmine Massengill with a miss. Headed to Tennessee. Good rebound in traffic for Isabel Nicoletti, but she has it ripped away. And the finish is there for Alyssa Smith, number 3 forward in the class, headed to Baylor.
And Kim Mulkey likes her. She says she can play and defend any position on the floor.
Now those quick hands by Honesty Scott Grayson. We should get a button here that when you press it says headed to Baylor. See
Lady Bears, there's Nicoletti. She's in a whole sea of white uniforms. Not much you can do about that. Good defense being played by both teams here early on.
Alyssa Smith, whose father Rodney played basketball at UTSA. Her mom Nikki was a sprinter, one of the most athletic players in this class. Here is Akira DeCosta with a good find up ahead. DeCosta cannot finish, but the putback is there. Destiny Henderson, number 1 point guard in this class. She'll be playing for Dawn Staley at South Carolina.
Seems about right. Best point guard goes to the best point guard, probably, as a coach. Now, what Dawn Staley has done, not only with developing players and teams, winning a national championship, what she's done for the community in the city of Columbia. You're getting 15,000 fans in the arena constantly. She is growing and impacting the game so largely, and it's so great to see that. I think this year, in as many as I can remember, the growth of the women's game, the amount of attention that was paid to it, media and otherwise, there's a big buzz. It's awesome.
Why do you think that was?
I think the Final Four had a lot to do with it. And what Arike Gumbawale did, I mean, her 2 shots, you got Kobe sitting in the stands watching you do it. And honestly, to me, when you think about Kobe supporting the WNBA, I know Kevin Durant's a big supporter. He comes to a lot of games. We need that continuity. We need the support on the men's side. And it's not to validate the game. It's to show support and say, hey, we support you guys the same way you support us. This is one game. It's basketball.
Miss inside from DeCosta, and the white team could hold for the last shot, but you don't typically see that in these all-star games. Get up and down the court.
Yeah, no need to hang out.
Smith will take it short. Offensive rebound, no. 3rd try for Smith, and another foul. Alyssa Smith will return to the line. And of East Central Texas.
Shooting 2, Alyssa Smith.
And Alyssa Smith Even though she's the number 3 in the class of 2018, she still feels like she's been ignored. Even had the hashtag slept on in her Twitter timeline for a while. What you may not know about Melissa is that she's actually a pretty good golfer. She hits golf balls with her dad whenever she can. Also loves to pick up a camera. So we got a photographer, we got a golfer, you got an All-American.
True Renaissance woman headed to Waco. Henderson has it poked away. And there is Melissa Smith. Not sleeping on her right now. Good for Smith. Fighting hard underneath. The shot blocking prowess on display. Next versus next in the girls' Jordan Brown Classic from Barclays Center.
2018 is going to be great. It's not every year that there's a royal wedding. It's been, 7 years since Kate and William? And now Prince Harry's finally settling down? What time is that on TV? If it's 11 in London, that's 3 a.m. in Oakland? That's really early. I better set her an alarm. Hey, Google.
Hi, how can I help?
Welcome back to the Jordan Brown Classic from Brooklyn. For our first quarter points for Melissa Smith, number 8 player in the class of 2018. She is with Brooke on the white team bench.
That's right, Melissa. I thought this game pretty intense in the first quarter. A lot of defense. What are you seeing out here?
I see everybody being aggressive and everybody trying to score. And it's a real physical game and we're all trying to score.
We know that you got a lot of versatility to your game. That's one thing Kim Mulkey really likes about the way that you play. How would you describe your personality as a basketball player?
I describe my personality as probably like different. Like sometimes it's like calm and then like on the court it's like real explosive and real like physical.
Read up a little bit about you. I know that in addition to playing basketball, you like the game of golf, is that right?
I like to play golf, like just hit balls with my dad.
So do you take them on the course or anything? Like, what's your best score?
Ooh, I don't even know. We just go like to a driving range and just hit balls.
And so, what are you most excited about? I mean, you got an incredible class that's headed to Baylor to play alongside you. A lot of these ladies in the game here with you. What do you think about when you think about next year playing for Kim Mulkey and the Lady Bears?
I think next year is going to be real interesting, like having like 5 different players that have like different skills and different things about them, and just all of us coming together, it's going to be real interesting.
Now, I noticed there was also something in Twitter timeline about being slept on, hashtag slept on. Can you explain what that means?
Hashtag slept on, it's just like a movement I started for people that feel like they're like slept on and don't get the recognition they deserve. So I just started that brand and I got shirts and things like that.
Well, we like you out here working hard. Congratulations. You know, I asked Kristen the same thing I'll ask you, to not be humble at this moment. This game is all about next versus next. So what makes you next?
Probably just being aggressive and just trying to score and getting people.
Are you interested at all in the Masters tournament that's going on? You got any winners you want to pre-select?
Nah, I don't even know.
She's worried about basketball. She's not out here watching golf. She's focused. Thank you so much.
Brooke, I want some t-shirts. Thank you, and thanks to Melissa for joining us. 12-2 run currently for the white team, which is taking control early. And forced to tie up. Queen Igbo, one of those fierce 5 competitors headed to Baylor, loses possession for the black team. Melissa mentioned the physicality of this game. We already have 16 free throws attempted. That was in the first quarter alone, which is more than you might expect for, say, 3 quarters sometimes in an All-Star game. You just got back. I was talking about 16 free throw attempts in the game already.
Already, huh?
And Melissa was mentioning the physicality. It might take 3-4 quarters sometimes in one of these games to see 16 free throw attempts.
Well, do you mean having a conversation with the officials and see if we can open this up?
No, I'm fine with it. Call it
That means
as
to
it
play
lies.
aggressive, right? It's good play. You know, I like the competitive spirit in these ladies. Like they've been almost 2 weeks between the McDonald's game and where they're at now. A lot of time to work together and really to test yourself against the best competition right now. Where you're going to see the next level. These might be some NCAA tournament games as we're looking into March next year.
Igbo is tied up again. Charlie Collier forcing the jump ball, this time the black team with possession. Kristen Williams will check into the game. The top player in the country. Kristen Williams, 26.8 points per game, 10.4 rebounds as a 5'11 guard. Ashley Jones with this from 3 to Iowa State. And here is Olivia Nelson-Ododa.
Lead the break.
Beautiful outlet by the UConn commit. Ryan Howard headed to Kentucky with a finish. 14-2 run for the white team and a timeout taken by Bob Macklin and the black team.
Olivia Nelson-Ododa, she can dunk, she can lead the fast break, and oh, can she pass? What placement? White team up by 11.
When you have amazing internet, you can stream amazing shows. And Fios gives you the fastest internet available for just $79.99 a month with a 2-year agreement. Plus, you get 1 year of Netflix on us. So don't wait to get Fios gigabit connection on the 100% fiber optic network so you can stream on up to 100 devices at once. Hurry, offer ends soon. So get the fastest internet available, plus Netflix, plus up to 200 TV channels, plus phone, plus a 2-year price guarantee. All for just $79.99 per month. Hurry, this offer ends April 18th. Go to getfios.com to switch today.
During the break, Kristen Williams was awarded the All-USA Player of the Year, adding to what is a growing trophy case with the #1 player in the ESPN W100. This is a look at the top 10, 8 of whom are playing on this Barclays Center court today.
That trophy looked like it was very fragile. And I know they're getting a lot of swag here. You gotta pack that deep in the bag, like cover the shoes, get all the extra wrapping. It's a nice trophy.
Well, you have some trophies, I assume, right?
Probably some ribbons somewhere.
You don't have anything? You're in a conference
Yes.
Hall of Fame. Where do you keep the trophy?
Well, it's also been, a few years since I graduated, so the trophy game's been way upgraded. Like, I don't know if you saw the ones at the McDonald's game too, but they are awesome right now. But yeah, Zion Williamson, talking about how many trophies he's won. It's incredible. Yeah, I have had a trophy or two. That was super nice. I don't have anything on glass.
Where do you
like
put
that.
it? Do you have to display it? Is it in storage? Is it back in the closet?
I'm waiting till the day I have a house to display like a sports room.
Okay.
Right now, you would never know I played anything if you walked in my house. It's very girly, a lot of good decorations. It's a peaceful place. Play basketball outside. I keep my past life. I'll display one day. Like I said, when I have to leave.
You don't want Willis to knock it over either.
Yeah, the dog is definitely a what do you call that?
Impediment?
Hazard. Yeah, he's a hazard.
Queen Engel is at the line once again. #4 post player in the class. One of 4 future Baylor Bears on the floor today. Powerful leaper. She almost threw it down a dunk at the end of practice yesterday.
Grabbing the rim, kind of ripping it down, and it's just a slight inch or two maybe before she's able to dunk it. So I think it should work on some of that power. Her legs get in the gym. And I love what she said about why she chose Baylor. She said, I know she's aggressive, she's a competitor, she's just like me. Charlie Collier was in the contest at the McDonald's games, showing her range. Size 6'5". Charlie, well, she committed to UConn, and then she changed her mind to Texas last September.
That doesn't happen often.
It doesn't. She obviously felt like Karen Aston's program was a better fit for her. And being from Texas, maybe just wanted to be closer to home. That's always a factor. I went to school 12 hours away, and I was ready to transfer after my freshman year. My mom said, absolutely not. You give it at least one more, and if you still feel that way, then okay.
Charlie has known that Texas staff since 7th grade. Out to McKenzie, Forbes a winner of that 3-point competition, misfiring on the triple. Here's Zane Green, Tennessee Volunteers, and Holly Warlick. Williams with a putback out. Austin denied from behind. And a primal scream on the rejection.
Look, Shakira can't say anything either, because she knows she did the same thing in the first quarter.
Ryan Howard from out of nowhere.
Sneaking in, send it out.
Ryan Howard, the Gatorade Player of the Year in Tennessee at Bradley Central High School. 22 points, nearly 8 rebounds, more than 5 steals per game. She is a headliner in the class for Kentucky, which has another ESPN 100W player and a Wayne Player player. Right now, the officials are looking at the shot clock, which has been not back to 23. There is Reinauer, number 10 guard in the country. Kentucky with its streak of 8 NCAA tournaments in a row snap, but Wildcats lose 2 contributors as it stands and bring in 2 excellent freshmen for next year.
The Wildcats have been trying to get back into the form of Elite Eight, which is where they have appeared many times. Matthew Mitchell's club has seen some transfer losses. Of course, Lene Harper, maybe the biggest one, to leave his program to go to Ohio State. But think back to Lene Harper, to Michaela Epps, some of the absolutely fantastic players that have been through that program. Kentucky basketball, you expect them to be at a level where it's Sweet 16, Elite 8, so Matthew Mitchell has some work to do. He knew that this year was going to be tough, rebuilding, but the attitude was never down for the Wildcats.
Black team trying to stop this 17-2 run, and it will with Pete Hickmo finishing.
Fast break, great ball movement behind the back.
Scott Grayson to the line. Honesty, Scott Grayson of Riverdale Baptist High School from Marlboro, Maryland. It's a young woman who has changed schools 7 times since the 6th grade. Landed at Riverdale Baptist, where she had gone a few years prior. Felt at home there, ended up back there for her senior year. High school teammate of Shakira Austin, headed to Maryland. I love this. She wants to study music production, Honesty, so she went to Baylor as part of the official visit. Kim Mulkey had a karaoke costume party at her house.
What?
And that was one of the things that sold Honesty.
That would definitely sell me.
Oh, no question.
I can't sing, but I love me some karaoke.
And Scott Grayson with a steal. There she is with her high school teammate Austin on the ground, and it is a tie-up between 2 Riverdale Baptist players.
Heck of a high school program, too. We see Riverdale Baptist quite a bit into the national high school tournaments. We used to be the Dix National High Schools, now Geico. We're there this year, but in years past, that has been a name. Riverdale Baptist, you see quite often. A lot of great players come out of that program.
That ball saved into the hands of Ashley Jones. Iowa City. Jones, the Waterman fast break. No, Austin will finally put it up and in.
Austin, stay with it. Keep those hands high. It's been a battle. Very physical in the paint today. I like it.
Balagoon with a 3. Elizabeth Balagoon headed to Georgia Tech.
You can feel that from Balagoon. Chattanooga, more to Georgia Tech from Hamilton Heights, a team that was first in the finals of the Geico tournament. Came in second for the 2nd year in a row. Balagoon, a terrific player. That's a nice in and out move. Ryan Howard. Let's go back to this play here. Balagoon. Quick release. You can feel that shot going in as soon as she let it go. More confidence too. I like it. Teammates with Jasmine Maxigill also on this team. Balagoon came from Nigeria in 2013. A year after Justine died of breast cancer. So in what maturity was called upon her at a young age. And when she came to the States to play basketball, she got a rude awakening. She thought the warm-ups was practice. Like the whole thing was over after warm-ups. She said, oh no, I don't think I'm going to make it. Look at her now.
Number 3 wing in the class. Her dad has stayed behind in Nigeria. They'll talk for 3-4 hours on FaceTime. She and Elizabeth Dixon both come from Nigerian families, and there's a large Nigerian population in Atlanta. Part of the reason that Georgia Tech was attractive to those 2.
Great to be able to share some stories about being home together and have that bond to share, and that's really special. I can't imagine. I was only 12 hours away. I can't imagine being 2,000-3,000 miles. Played basketball in Germany when I was 21. You're an adult at that point. It's like, hey, get out there and make it. What these ladies are doing to the States earlier. And on the guy side, too, you see a lot of guys leaving home early and going to these basketball academies and basically having professional lives as teenagers, and I really commend them for that, for having that discipline.
Honesty, Scott Grayson with a 3. Such a lovely stroke for Honesty, who's headed to Baylor.
Angstler with the block on Prince. Teammates off the bench for that.
She can do a little bit of everything, Lily Angstler.
She's sneaky. Like, she's got that face of like, maybe you wouldn't pick me first on the playground, but you're going to know by the end of the day, you're going to know my name.
And Syracuse wants to study broadcast journalism. Wants to, before the games, he told us, wants to get into play-by-play.
I love it.
So it's been fun working with you for now.
Yeah, right. I'm like,
Squeeze
my
as many
job's kind of
paychecks out as I can. Good finish, Madison Williams.
she's explosive. The scouting report on her is no one can stop her when she's got a full head of steam. She's going downhill. Good luck. I'm not trying to get in front of her and take a charge. No thank you.
Balagu with a hot hand. I know statistically speaking, there's something called the hot hand fallacy, where if you hit a shot, you're not more or less likely to hit your next one. But the heck with that, because Balagu looks like she's seeing about a 30-foot wide hoop right now.
Heat check. Give it to her again. Look at her sprint before she wants it. Teammate's going to hit her.
From Massengill, Balagu will give it up. Angstler with a shot fake. And foul.
This is Balagu, versatile. Some players she can take outside. The pull-up jump shot. Oh, that is my favorite in the game. The mid-range jumper. There is absolute gold anytime you want it.
Emily Angstler from Fresh Meadows, New York. A couple of boroughs away in Queens, St. Francis Prep. Syracuse has 2 top 11 players in the class. They are 22-9 this year. They'll turn all 5 of their starters. Plus, they bring in those 2 top 11 recruits. It'll be a terrific year for Clint Hailsman's team next year.
He tends to bring in guards that can do a little bit of everything. And one of his mainstays is shooting threes and going in for the offensive rebound. So I think she's a player that's going to fit that system. She can crash the glass hard. She understands angles. Not much she's crossing her arms like that, but she knows how to move well without the basketball too. And Quentin Hailsman wants to see that out of his players. He wants to see confidence. You know, she took this on. She said, if I'm going to be a basketball player, I'm going to be a role model for women. It's important for me to act correctly and help younger players off the floor. She looks up to players like Spur and Elena Deladon. And I love it. Love it to study the play-by-play. We definitely need more ladies calling play-by-play action. Not just to keep my job safe, I'm not saying that. Maybe one day I'll venture into your world, but I have to study some more. What you guys do is hard. Like, how do you keep track of fouls? Come on, it is. I just watched the game.
We make most of it up. That's what you realize.
That is the secret. Okay.
White team leads 76-4. Emily Angstler is one of the top wing players in this class, number 2 rated wing. There's so many strong wings and forwards of this game. Somewhere that you've seen the growth and development of the game, the athleticism and the ability of these forwards to step out and shoot as some of these young women can.
Yeah, and Catherine Reese, out of Arizona, a tough, gritty player, loves to get on the floor, dive, just very impressive. You see the other players here on display today. And what coach at the next level wouldn't want a taller player when you can hit the threes like Melissa Smith does? And you can step out and do the things that Balagoon is doing. Shakira, Dawson, these players are so versatile, getting bigger. You can watch them even from a close distance here. But when I went out on the floor, I'm like, man, I am really small. The players are getting bigger and bigger. 6'4", 6'5" is becoming an average rather than the exception.
That last 3 was from Melissa Smith, and it is a game-high lead of 20 for the white team, the home team in this Jordan Brand Classic. Nice backdoor drop. Angstler gives it right back to Massengill. Jasmine Massengill with a finish.
White team performance surgery out here.
You don't always get this at these All-Star games because so many of these young women are just playing together for the first time this week, and the white team looks like it's been together for a couple of years. The way they move the ball.
Yeah, they've been passing well today. Nicoletti with the 3. Isabella Nicoletti headed to Florida State next year. Saucy player out of Brazil.
Number 6 overall player in the class, Nicoletti.
Great ball movement again by the white team. You see the entry pass into the middle of the post. Angstler with the give and go back to Massengill.
This one taken away. DaCosta deflected by Exler, and a steal for Massengill. Emily Exler for three.
Blocking shots, hitting assists, hitting threes. The Q sweat. 14 assists on 18 field goals. That is an incredible percentage. I know we're not talking about specifically a ton of stats today, but Exler caused that play to happen. She got the deflection. Massengill, who's a terrific passer, going to deflect to a better shot. Exler, a three from the corner.
9 points for Exler. 3 rebounds, couple of assists as well. Right now, Balagoon 4 for 4 with 10 points is the leading scorer in the game. White team has done a nice job on Kristen Williams. Right now, the #1 player in the country to just a single point, a 5 shooter.
Ball hasn't had a lot of chances to shoot it. We've seen some of the other players start to shine. Nicoletti, a nice looking three.
She's a dynamic player.
Yes.
Great range, high energy, drawn to that Florida State style. #2 guard, #6 overall player. To Noose Christian Academy in North Carolina after coming from Brazil.
Basketball helps her learn how to speak English. Better way to learn how to communicate right than on the floor with your teammates.
Valencia Myers with a flip in.
She doesn't really seem
Surge.
Isabella doesn't seem like a trash talker to me, but if I'm learning the language for the first time, I need to know what kind of things can I say to get to your head. Like, how do I talk smack?
Nicoletti looking for Madison Williams. Back to Nicoletti. Her third three.
Okay, Black team, I see you.
9 in a row for the black team to cut this lead to 14. Smith cannot answer. Williams up ahead in search of Henderson. And a foul by Massengill will stop the breakout. Whole lot of cherry picking out this game.
I'm okay with that.
Everybody's crashing the offensive glass, obviously. That's the sort of con to that strategy.
I told the ladies yesterday at practice I'd like to see a 90, 99 game, maybe something like that. They all seem to nod in confidence, like that's not an issue for us.
At the line, Destiny Henderson, #1 point guard in this class of 2018. She was the Gatorade Player of the Year in Florida. 3 consecutive state titles for Fort Myers High School. And again, headed to Dawn Staley and the South Carolina Gamecocks.
It'd be great to see her decision-making and athleticism and the overall mentality of the point guard system develop. I work with Dawn Staley every single day. She talks about, that's a nice pass. That's a Dawn Staley kind of pass right there. But her level of commitment to getting better at the game. One thing Dawn Staley told me this year that really stuck with me was the difference with Asia Wilson from last year to this year was her commitment to watching herself on film. And seeing that and then really scouting and using that information to help improve your game and to help know who you're playing against. Let's go back to that nice pass. Jasmine Massengill going to Tennessee. Great look and good ball fake. Elizabeth Dixon. Jasmine Massengill was at the Geico tournament as well. Had an incredible 2 games. But he said, runner-up in that tournament. I really like her going to Tennessee. I like her ambition. I like her competitiveness. And at 6'1", she's an oversized point guard for Harley Boylan, who has, in my opinion, already the best passer in the SEC on her team. Evita Westbrook, woo, she is deadly for the big balls.
It's a Tennessee team that had 3 major freshman contributors in a 25-8 season this year. It's amazing to say this in Tennessee's women's basketball history, which is nearly 4 decades. They had not missed the Sweet 16 in back-to-back years until now. I don't think there's reason to panic, though, when you look at the young players they have and the young players who are coming in. Some of whom we've seen today, as Akira DaCosta, for instance.
In Tennessee, basketball fans, they are demanding. They expect it. I've seen excellence in the past, so that's what they want to see in the future. And I get that. Harley Boylan is doing a great job.
Last shot short on the heat from Williams. The white team was dominant for most of that half. The black team ends on a 14-1 run. And we've got a ball game here at the end of 20 minutes.
Great offense, competitive defense. These ladies came to play today. I like it. The range, we're getting further and further back. And that NBA line. And then at halftime, still.
who's got two thumbs and saved hundreds with Geico? This guy.
You sound like a Geico commercial.
This is a Geico commercial. Geico.
Terrific young woman. She could not ask her host parents, Andre and Kevin Hughes, in North Carolina, for a glass of water when she came to the States 3 years ago. She's really improved her English, has improved her game. Great personality on and off the court. And a terrific addition to that Florida State class for Sue Semrau, which is ranked number 4 right now in the top classes in the nation.
Can't we feel how positive her energy is?
Absolutely.
You can see exactly why she meshed well with Sue Semrau and my homie from high school, Brooke Wyckoff. Now, we didn't go to the same high school together, but we were the same age. She's one of the assistants
She's
for the state.
why? That's why you're in high
Yes,
school.
and you see, she's perfect from the floor. She was 3 of 3, 9 points. Balagoon 4 of 4. Some good offense to get the black team back within striking distance. And we've been waiting on the officials. Ladies taking a longer break.
Call your own foul, second
Hey,
half.
I'm with it. I'm with it. Get used to different. Somehow, Brooke Wyckoff and I mixed up. Now, she's about 6'3", 6'4". I'm 5'7" at my best.
What are you?
All-American versus Fabian City. Hey, ladies, welcome to the party.
When you say 5'7" at your best, what are you at your worst?
Depends if I'm standing tall that day or not. If I'm confident, it's 5'7". Maybe not so much 5'6" and a half.
Nice drop off. Black team ended the half with a 14-1 run. And Destiny Henderson finds Sedona Prince for the first basket of the second half.
Continues to step up that defense. Nicoletti swiping the piece of the deflection. So the competitiveness, right? Like, they're not going to be okay with being down 10 at halftime. No chance.
Who's your first half MVP? A lot of good candidates.
Yeah, I think you had a lot of distribution and scoring, and you got to get the credit where credit's due. Shakira Austin, she had 10 points. Ashley Jones, Destiny Henderson with 10. Well, I don't know yet. Yeah, Angstler had a great first half as well. Very balanced game. We saw skill sets for blocking, shooting threes.
It's still anybody's to win at this point. I don't think there's a clear frontrunner. Engstler, as you mentioned, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals on the floor for the white team, number 30. And a takeaway for Valencia Myers, ripping it away for the black team. The one headed to Florida State along with Nicoletti. Here is Valencia Myers, 32 on the black team from Ohio. Sedona Prince on the ground with a jump ball, possession arrow to the white team. Don't forget, after this, scheduled for 5 o'clock, ESPN 2 is the boys' game, the Jordan Brand Classic. Top high school players, top high school seniors in the class 118 for the girls right now. Top ones for the boys. Cam Reddish, Bowl among the headliners for that game, which again will be on ESPN 2 and the ESPN app.
Someday we're not going to see R.J. Barrett. We won't see Zion Williamson play either. He is here. Got a cast on his left hand, I believe, from the thumb injury he sustained at the McDonald's game.
Poor Duke fans, they only have the number 3 and 12 players in the class
Yeah, Cam,
today.
you got to carry it for the Blue Devils today. I'm sure he's up for it. What talent, I mean, geez, the Blue Devils getting the top 3 players in the country. Not a surprise, but certainly exciting nonetheless. And I hear that with the 4 signees, that they're working on a great nickname to come up with. By the end of the boys' game, we'll have it.
That's Zion.
Well, no,
You're sticking around.
it's
You're going to be our reporter for the game.
Cameron's job. Apparently, that's R.J. Barrett said it's Cameron's job to come up with the nickname. That's a lot of pressure. One guy.
Meanwhile, here's Prince looking for a 3rd basket of the half. Missed it. Out of bounds, though, last touch by Elizabeth Dixon, who will stay with the black team, which has cut the lead to 6.
They're down 21 points, right?
22 even, yeah. That was with 2:32 to go in the half. From the corner, the miss from Madison Williams. Offensive rebound. Myers' shot is rejected. Nelson Adona comes away with it. Olivia Nelson Adona taking up the floor herself, and that did not work. Williams from Henderson. This is a 4-point game.
I like it. You see how much more
feisty the black team has come out of this second half. They are on a 20-1 run.
And Williams ties up Exler for another turnover.
You can look at Henderson and you can look at Nicoletti as the three energy producers here in this third quarter. The big key to this comeback. Fast break opportunity, a step or two, perhaps extra, but a nice finish.
We're not calling travels today, bro.
Not when you finish jelly with the left hand. Just gotta let that count.
When did jelly become a thing?
You know, I'm really disappointed in myself for not referencing who started this movement. But I know our guys, Corey Alexander and Paul Biancardi, can fill me in when they get here for the boys game.
You think Paul started it?
Yeah, but
Most hip cat out there?
he is. Paul is cool.
Paul and Corey will join us tableside for that game. Massengill. Sweet crossover, couldn't finish. Rebound to Kristen Williams. And a quiet first half for Williams, only one made field goal. Inside, Egbo cannot finish. Black team trying to cut it to a one-possession game. Coming up short on back-to-back possessions.
We get to see Mackenzie Forbes unleash either. I mean, she was the three-point champ in the McDonald's game, shooting the boys and the girls. She had the highest total of anybody. Got to see her fantastic ball handling skills yesterday. Dad Sterling, a former Globetrotter, we went up on rooftop. And that's practice facility. Basketball work is Kristen Williams gets one. That's her second field goal of the day.
Kristen Williams makes this just a two-point game. 22-1 now the run. Black team has not led since 18-17. They get tired, take the lead here. Zay Gray with the first basket of the game, rolls it home, and we are tied.
That's what I'm talking about. I was about to say a 20-point difference in the game, especially in the second half. This wasn't going to be a blowout. No way.
A 24-1 run. Massengill nearly dragged it to the foot.
Everybody's afraid to shoot now. Come on, fire it up.
It's a little bit of a tense team right now, this team in late.
Yeah.
Amira Collins on the misfire. The black team can take the lead. Shakira Austin. Jenna Brown headed to Stanford. Good find. Zay Green bricks it. Austin in there for the offensive rebound and gets the roll. Shakira Austin and the black team have come all the way back. 26-1 is now the run.
Austin's looking to put you away when she gets in the paint. She's got that killer mindset. I like it.
Massengill, little isolation ball, and Austin came over to disrupt. On the push ahead, too long for Green, and a black team turnover. Just about the only thing that's gone wrong for them in the first 4:56 of this quarter. We're going to have some fours ball handling when we come back. Mackenzie and Pop Sterling.
Her cries can still be heard when we were waiting. Sharks.
Welcome back to the Jordan Brand Classic. Mackenzie Forbes, number 0 in the white team. With a beautiful one-hand bouncer to Emily Exler. Forbes a tremendous ball handler. Where does she get it from? Well, Brooke Weisbrod will tell you.
No doubt. And she gets it not from her mom, she gets it from her papa. Sterling Forbes, a former Harlem Globetrotter. Sterling, I saw you in the stands. You've been kind of shaking your head. You look like a nervous dad out there. So what's going on in your mind?
Yeah, I'm a nervous dad because we had a 23, 24-point lead and we let them come back. And it looks like we stopped hustling. We're getting out rebounded probably by about 20. So I'm hoping they snap back to it and we get back in the game.
I like the scouting report. You sound like a true coach. So tell me what it was like teaching your daughter how to have that ball handling and most importantly, just how to have the confidence on the floor.
Well, it's just a matter of repetition, having the ball in your hands and having the opportunity to just dribble. One of the things we used to always work on is working on 2 balls because I felt you need to build dribble ball hands. It just makes the game easier on the court and go either way.
I see you got your cow colors on today. That's nice. It's Harlem Globetrotters zip up, but at the same time, your daughter's headed to Cal next next year, play for the Bears. You got to be excited about that. Why the decision do you believe that she chose to go to Cal?
Well, she had a lot of great offers across the country. I think at the end of the day, she felt comfortable with the coaching staff. The players that they currently have, it's also close to home. That makes a big difference as well.
Okay, so we can expect to see you at every home game, the fan?
I will be there.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate your time. We'll let you go back to being a nervous dad.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
And nervous he remains. Kristen Williams, some great defense. And the black team converts at the other end. Shakira Austin, a chance for a heartbreak. Austin a double-double in the game.
One more shot for Austin.
Number 3 overall player in this class, Shakira Austin, headed to University of Maryland. 11 points and 12 rebounds for number 22 in black. And Austin finishes off the three-point play. To a Maryland team that's won 3 consecutive Big Ten championships. Austin, one of 3 ESPN W100 commits in this class, which is ranked number 5 in the country.
And Brenda Fries has a terrific reputation for developing players. We've gotten to see the 2 other players much besides Shakira, but what I have seen out of her game, I really like. So our last possession, getting that energy up, and I think that's, when you can bring that to the table, when you're naturally like that, people are going to draw value from you, and your team gets bigger and better. And you got to go out there and play not just with your body, but with your mind, with your spirit. You got to give everything you have to the game. That's what gets you to the next level.
You noticed at the practices yesterday as well that some of the other players here are drawn to her like moths to a flame. She is so energetic, so lively, so full of life on the court with the fun that she's clearly been having. I think it's contagious just from watching her for a couple of days.
It's nice to see that. You work so hard, but you know how to enjoy yourself too. I mean, I'm somebody, I don't take myself seriously at all. So when you see players who are at that level, who have, competed against the best in the country and can still cut loose and be humble and just have normal conversations, it's so refreshing. So many times you don't know what to expect, and these players, as great as they are, they're still able to stay very humble and know why they're here.
Has that changed to you since you played? Like how humble some of the top players are? Is that different at all in the age of social media, do you think?
Well, what I think is really exciting now is a lot of the players they're embracive of the camera. They want to be in front of it. She wants to get into play-by-play. But with social media, because you've got players with phones in their hands all the time, they're comfortable if you go up and want to grab a Snapchat or an Instagram. And to me, it's not just about being on social media with them. To me, it's breaking that ice, getting players more exposure, getting them comfortable. In the men's game, you get a lot of chances to be out there in the media because it's just a sport that's covered more. So getting more name recognition and letting you understand who they are as players, who they are as people, that's all important. So that's got to come from their personalities. So for them to be less shy and to be more inclusive and say, hey, yeah, I'd love to do an interview. Let's go. Let's keep growing the women's game, and that's one way to do it.
Well, nobody's turned you down today, right?
Nothing yet. Just the security guards.
That was yesterday. 2 field goals in a row for the white team. Melissa Smith. It was a 30-1 run by the black team. The white team has cut it back to 1. Smith after a 3 from Charlie Collier, and that leads us to a timeout. 30-second timeout taken by the white team, coached by James Anderson, assisted by Keisha Hunt, the Hamilton Knights coach, Dixon Jensen.
Screen and roll movement. You don't have a lot of time to waste. You got a couple of defenders coming at you, so you better pick what you're going to do. And Smith, screen, get some room from it. 1 dribble pull up. Before the defense comes out. I like that. That's quick thinking. And this black team has done quite a bit to hustle back in this game, and now with a 1-point lead. You see James Anderson in the huddle for the white team, kind of getting into the face of everybody, like saying, hey, we're going to need some more defense, some more emphasis on energy out here. It looked flat.
That's really how the black teams got back into this game. Great individual defense, great team defense, great energy. Those are the things that can be taken for granted sometimes in an exhibition.
Yeah, and leads. How many times this year did we see Notre Dame down double digits? They were down 23 to Tennessee, they came back. They were down double digits to Mississippi State in the finals game, then they came back. lead, they hustled, they played defense, and that was the key. You got to get stops. That's going to help you on the confidence on offense.
Boston along 2 with a backboard and out of bounds. Jasmine Massengill with that terrific handle. Tennessee-bound point guard at Hamilton Heights High School in Chattanooga. A couple of hours from campus in Knoxville. Massengill draws the defenders, finds Scott Grayson who misses a 3. And here is Kristen Williams, the #1 player in the class. Gatorade Player of the Year with the offhand. Blue Rock. And then a takeaway. Jenna Brown hit hard by Scott Grayson and foul. There really is no offhand for Kristen Williams, who is ambidextrous and shot with the right hand when she was younger.
Yeah. With hesitation, you see Jasmine Massengill trying to come over top and get that steal. The look off, the finish. And then a steal. That's that hustle. You're talking about Jenna Brown hard to the basket. Good job, Alice. Scott Grayson to foul hard, and they get back to pick her up.
Jenna Brown at the line going to Stanford. Number 3 point guard in his class, number 20 overall player. Lexi and Lacey Hall, twins from the national champion Central Valley team out in Washington. They are headed to Stanford as well.
They are very good. I saw them last weekend at the Geico High School Nationals, and wow, I mean, you talk about consistent effort, killer mentality, doesn't shut the motor off. I'm talking to Jenna Brown about that. So you got some great teammates you're about to join Stanford next season. She's real excited. Jenna Brown, what a great player too. Terrific young lady. Her basketball stats are one thing, 26 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists a game. But she's one of 6 board members. So the school group, it's called LARIC. It's Love It Environmentally Responsible Investment Group. So this team that she's on, they analyze investments. They get $50,000 in portfolio. Then they got to make a presentation of the mutual funds to the school's full board. So what are you doing with my money? Are you getting a return? I mean, these are serious questions. She's not even out of high school yet.
I have no idea what you just said. And she's in high school.
She makes money moves, is what I'm trying to say.
And she's going back to the line, Jenna B. Of the Lovett School in Georgia, headed cross country. This little drop off there by Kristen Williams.
Broken play somewhat.
They're all broken.
I like the sauce. Yeah, you got to try things out in a game like this.
What do you think about these jerseys?
I like the jerseys. I can honestly say I'm not a fan of the sideways numbers. I mean, usually I like to try new things and get out there, but no, that doesn't work at all. It doesn't work.
You're not getting the ceremonial jersey now. We had one ready for you backstage.
Well, oh well. Can I get a t-shirt instead? I got Jordans on, so I am representing.
You can get a t-shirt from Melissa, right? Didn't she say she was making hashtag slept on
That's
t-shirts?
right. One of those. Support the movement. I like the trim. Black and white, very simple. The shoes. The shoes are real nice. Oh, Jenna Brown just touched the backboard on that layup. Excuse me, Hops. I didn't know she had that in her arsenal.
Elevation to the Stanford commits Jenna Brown. Nelson Adota trying to find his way inside. Charlie Collier off the deflected pass is fouled.
Watch this. Yes. I mean, that's damn near close to the rim. You got 5 inches to go, so maybe she gets in the gym. I see her throwing down before her college career's over.
It's got to be the shoes.
That's right. As the @Jumpman23 raises our TV screen.
Here she comes again. Jenna Brown on the bounce.
Yes.
With the assist. The drop off to Zay Green. All black team here in the third quarter.
Great sell. She had me thinking, all right, you're going for the layup, you're going to pass it.
It is a 23-5 third quarter in favor of the black team. Nelson Adota will cut into that with the offense. Perfect 100 on her first dunk at the Powerade dunk contest. Made the final. Lost to Zion Williamson there. Kristen Williams rejected. This ball still in play. Zay Green, 4-3, not quite. And a foul on the rebound of 21.2, and the shot clock turned off.
Let's go back to this great assist by Jenna Brown. The fast break, the very last minute. Wow, just barely finds Egbo. Selling it. Gonna have to do that as a point guard. Gotta be smart to do it out west in Pac-12. Stanford.
Scott Grayson couldn't finish off the crossover. Ashley Jones out of the fray, and here is Williams on the push ahead. St. Green is looking her way. Jones there to clean it up and end the third quarter with a Black team basket. 69-61 at the end of three. A 25-7 edge. A runaway trade third quarter for the Black team.
I'm pretty sure they can't believe it right now. We're to the bench looking at each other like, are we really doing this? Ladies, this is a heck of a comeback. Great effort by the Black team.
So we swapped your car out for the all-new Chevy Traverse.
Yes.
Do you think it's going to surprise your daughter?
Absolutely.
Wait, is Mom here yet? Where's Mom? She's in this car. What the heck? Whoa. Yo, whose car is this?
This is the all-new Chevy Traverse.
This is beautiful.
It has Apple CarPlay compatibility. Do those apps look familiar? Oh. You want to hit this button? There's a hidden compartment.
Mom, when I'm older, can you buy me this car?
I want to buy me this car.
I've really set a standard for myself. It's just normal. But then you have to step up another level to be above normal.
The standard was certainly set. The legacy lives on in the Jordan Brand. The boys' game, the Jordan Brand Classic, the second of our doubleheader to follow at 5 o'clock on ESPN2. Right now, some trampoline dunkers leave the court at the end of three. Black team, white team, 69-61. The black team was on 30-1 run spanning the second and third quarters, plus 18 in the third, and a lead of 8 as we start the fourth. Kevin Brown, Brooke Weisbrod, thrilled to be with you from Barclays. Really fun game here. It looked like it was going to be an absolute runaway for the white team the second quarter, and the effort from these girls in the black jerseys has been exceptional.
I think the Black team has just really raised the level of competitiveness in this game. And as many turnovers, they've got 12 steals, and they've been converted with the fast break opportunities. They're not going by the wayside, and they're not trying to outdo themselves and do too much. They're not being extra. They're playing within themselves and doing things that they know they're good at. And most of all, they're playing as a team. That's what I like. Individually, any one of these ladies can probably drop 20 to 25 points on any given night. Today, it's about teamwork.
Here, Austin has 12 points, 12 rebounds with a steal. Austin taking it long. One-hand push, no. And the rebound of the white team. And Caitlin Gilbert, Notre Dame bound. Gilbert for that number 7 overall Notre Dame class, the lead of 4 ESPN W1 players to the defending national champions. The tie-up underneath it will stay with the black team. Here's Austin, number 3 player in the class. What an active day for her, but she has it ripped away. Nicoletti the deflection, but Gilbert keeps it for the white team. Mackenzie Forbes, another missed 3. White team just 8 of 25. And Destiny Henderson ahead of the field for an easy two.
White team's got to get some flow going back into it. Thanks to back in the game. She was terrific in the first half.
I love Destiny Henderson's strategy right now, just hanging out near midcourt.
Is that what you would do?
100%.
Kick it at the logo?
Are you kidding? I wouldn't get across midcourt defensively.
You asked me about the uniforms. I'm really digging the headbands. I think I like those even more. Between the headbands and the sneakers, they did it right.
Nicoletti with the outlet to Austin. Shakira! Arms don't lie.
That was pretty good. She didn't use her hips too much into that, so you had to go with the arms.
14 and 12 for Austin. Beautiful drive here, the control. It was Ryan Howard into Kentucky. Henderson. There's the white team down double digits. A game that's led most of the way. Great vision, Engstler. And Howard cans a three.
Maybe that's the play they needed. Give them a little life here, some extra pep on energy.
Henderson well defended. Caitlin Gilbert with some good minutes in this fourth quarter. Austin is fouled on the way up.
Shakira Austin at 6'6". She's getting that ball half court, a couple of powerful dribbles. And she put it in and one. And then the three. Ryan Howard off a pass from Engstler. The team trying to make a comeback.
Shakira Austin certainly putting in her bid for MVP, leading all scorers with 15, leading all rebounders with 12. Riverdale Baptist High School in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, staying in state to play for the Terrapins, who have 3 players in their class, all 5 stars, all in the top 33 of our ESPN W100 rankings. How about this steal by Henderson, who just took it right away off the inbound from Howard?
Yeah, that inbound play by Howard. Henderson, yeah. Flex on him, Destiny.
Future South Carolina Gamecock absorbing the contact.
The bench got height.
Nicoletti with a steal off the Engstler feed. Underneath DaCosta.
But you got Sage Reed over on the sideline doing push-ups. I love it. Now Madison Williams doing sit-ups. Sleeves are hype. I love it. That's what's winning in the game. They are more excited to be out there on the floor, and that's the difference. We got talent versus talent, next versus next. But it's the desire of the black team. That's what's giving them this lead.
DaCosta short on a 3. 7:08 to go, and 3 substitutions for the white team.
Destiny Henderson, that should have been a bounce pass inside. Instead, the quick guard. Bring it back out, spin on you, take it to the rack. I'll kiss off the glass, as someone famous in this business likes to say. Wow.
I do like to say.
Exactly. That is you, Kevin. Yeah, there's some push-ups on the side. Those didn't look like full push-ups. You got to bend the elbows all the way. Chest hits the floor. You know, she'll find all about that next year. Conditioning, you ask me sometimes what's the difference between high school and college. You're going to be sore in college than you've ever been in your life. You're going to lift weights, your muscles will hurt that you never even knew you had. Your eyelids are going to hurt. But guess what? You're going to be in better shape by the start of the season. You're going to test yourself physically. That's what they're made for. All these ladies are ready for hard work.
How long did it take you to adjust to that, the conditioning demands to the next level?
My senior year in college, honestly. That had to do with changing my nutrition, how I trained in the off-season. I focused on getting quicker, not necessarily getting bigger and stronger. And at that time, there wasn't as much information out as there is now. You see a lot of players very lean, very long. That's a great 3 by the white team. They're getting back right now. That's Howard with the 3, headed to Tennessee. Excuse me, Kentucky right now. SEC sister.
Gatorade Player of the Year in Tennessee. Volunteers lose out on that one as she goes to Matthew Mitchell's Wildcat team. Line change for the black team. 5 new substitutions. This is just an impossible move.
Bob Mackey's got to be happy about that. Bryce the King, head coach. A legendary program in Queens, New York. Birds ever to come from his program.
Oh, that's white ball right there. That was knocked by Howard into the hands of the inbounder, Jenna Brown. Look at this Tennessee class. 5 commits in the ESPN W100. We've seen Green, Massengill, and Amir Collins here today.
Yeah, Tennessee actually in the championship game against Connecticut. That was my pick. Nelson Adota, UConn-bound Husky. I like her wingspan, her range.
Great catch by Sedona Prince, meanwhile, on the bench.
Good thing she's paying attention.
When was that your pick, Tennessee UConn? Before the season or going into the tournament?
Oh, when I looked at the brackets.
Okay.
And that was after having seen Tennessee a couple times. And I just felt like they had a lot of momentum going into the postseason. They talked about it being a Westbrook, but Mercedes Russell, she's like a point center. Tennessee, they just didn't have it late in the season. And I thought we would see Notre Dame with the 4 ACL tears make it all the way to be national champions. That's just truly incredible.
It was my pick.
Yeah, right.
No,
Really?
seriously.
You picked Notre Dame?
Yeah, ask anybody who doesn't know. All right, how about the hands by Sedona Prince? Texas commit. Top of your screen.
Zip from Madison Williams. Another Texan right there. She's hey, one Texan to another. And did you know Sedona Prince her family has a wood oven burning pizza oven in the basement? Oh, the 3 and 1. Here comes the white team. They're not dead yet.
Honesty, Scott Grayson. It is a 10-0 run for the white team.
Scott Grayson finding her way away from the defense. A terrific pass and setup. Good rotation on the ball. Confident shot. Great air in the pass from Massengill.
And Scott Grayson cannot complete the three-point play. The rebound secured. Christian Williams back into the game, #1 player in the country, 13 for the black team. Midway through this fourth quarter, still anybody's game. Egbo denied with Nelson Adona in her way. Over the outstretched arm to Brown, and Scott Grayson takes it home.
Grayson ahead from Elizabeth Balagoon. That was a huge rebound and outlet pass. And the hustle to finish the play. Scott Grayson. Knee brace or not, she's got move, she's got speed. We have got a 3-point game here, my friends. And so look ahead. The finish from Destiny. Scott Grayson, I should say, the white team making moves. We got 4.5 minutes to play. We come back.
I am the creamy new peanut butter cookie dough blizzard only at DQ. And I am the classic chocolate chip cookie dough blizzard also only at DQ. Will you pick me or me? Decisions. Because I'm not fast food. I am fan food.
Thanks, babe.
Introducing the first ever Hyundai Kona with Blue Lake.
Very funny.
Life on Earth just got a little more intelligent.
Shakira Austin with a double-double. Game-high 18 points, game-high 14 rebounds. Could be the MVP of this Jordan Brand Classic game, and she standing by with Brooke.
Right, I'm feeling some MVP vibes next to me here. And Shakira, what a run in the comeback by this black team here. What's been the key?
Just keeping the energy up, getting stops, rebounding, and just playing defense and finishing anybody up to get.
Right, that's what we were talking about a lot, is the energy of this side of the floor is just so much more palpable. You can feel it. What are some of the things you guys are talking to each other about out there on the floor?
Just pushing hard, we're not going, this might be one of our last games before college, so, we give it your all and leave everything on the floor and just bring the ball the whole time.
Speaking of college, you're headed to Maryland next year, and a terrific choice. You get to play for Brenda Free. And what kind of game are you bringing to play for the Terrapins?
I'm bringing a versatile game. Brenda Free, she's going to know how to use me, and hopefully we'll just lead her to a national championship whenever I can. So.
We like that kind of talking. And one more question: where are the ideas to come up here and do all the push-ups and the sit-ups? And is that part of the energy? Like, who's leading that movement right now?
We all bring the energy, but we got Maddie. She's one of the ones that's very energetic. But we're all just like one group of girls, and we act like family. In a short time that we know each other, so.
It's been fun watching you play. We'll let you get back in this game, maybe get that MVP. All right, good luck.
Shakira Austin headlines the #5 class of the country for Maryland. 3 ESPNW 100 commits, all of them in the top 33 of our class. Kristen Williams, Gatorade Player of the Year in the nation. Couldn't get the assist because Queen Egbo's shot rolled off. We are under 4 with the white team in possession and down by 3. Jasmine Massengill running the point with under 4 to go. Terrific display of ball handling we've seen from her. She leaves her shot short. Here's Jenna Brown. Brown, the Stanford-bound point guard, could not finish over Massengill. Coming up next on ESPN2, 5 o'clock, Jordan Brand Classic boys game. Colby and Cardi, Corey Alexander will be along. Join us. You'll be roving around as you've been doing throughout this game. Appreciate your versatility, by the way. You're here at the table, you're on the white team bench, black team bench, you're in the stands. You've been all over the place.
I take advice from Shakira. You heard her say her game is versatile, as is mine. That's what I try to do.
The Shakira Austin of broadcasting.
Exactly. Listen, if you want to stay in this game, you better learn some new skills.
Nelson Adona over Shakira Austin, and Olivia Nelson Adona can tie this game at the foul line.
1 point game now, and you got to go to where your best options are for scoring. And great move by Nelson Adona to get spacing from Shakira Austin and finish on that play.
15-0 run. This has been a game of wild runs. There was a 51-15 run by the black team, and the white team has now scored 15 in a row to tie the score. Nicoletti's pass, a wayward one in the corner, and Scott Grayson floats it to Massengill. We are under 3 to play. Nelson Adona from Massengill, a chance for another 3-point play.
Adona feeling that takeover mode right now. You can feel the intensity of this game building up the last couple minutes. Powerful jump move, strong to the basket. You see her length, you see her reach. So as she gets stronger, she can put some weight on her frame and get stronger in the post. She's going to be such a great addition to the Huskies. We've seen her take the ball down the floor. So obviously she's comfortable with handling the ball. We'll get better at it. Charlie Collier, who was a half-second teammate of these UConn ladies before she changed her mind and is going to go to Texas. Another big with as many skills as possible. Inside out, it's just becoming the norm for the big ladies in the game.
2 players in the UConn class. Williams, number 1, Nelson Adona, number 5 overall. Took their official visits together. Austin with a miss. And Scott Grayson, after balance despite being tripped up. Tell you what, Jasmine Massengill's numbers don't jump off the page right now, but she has controlled this game and been a big reason the white team has come back. 6 assists for her to go with 4 points. Big ball, 15 to shoot. Look at these runs today. 30-1 for the black team. White team has scored 18 in a row. White team led by 23. Black team then led by 15 at one point. And here we are with the white team back in front late. On the step out, a missed 3 for Collier. Nicoletti behind the back to Henderson. Destiny Henderson. Nifty dribbling display, but she lost it. Nelson Adona there for a tie-up. Black team will keep possession. 2:07 to go.
Some tight, quick handles and works well in small spaces. Great change of direction.
To beg your pardon, it is now the white team in possession off that show. Well, you mentioned earlier how much more exciting the women's Final Four was than the men's.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm hoping the men's game is as exciting as this.
Well, we'll see. Certainly these ladies came out to compete. Love to see the same on the guys' side.
Massengill's pass knocked away. Austin got her hands on it. Prince came up with it. Austin from Green. No. The follow from Green. No. Third try from Green. And she is fouled. Zay Green active. The Tennessee-bound guard out of Duncanville High School in Texas.
A lot of bounce to Zay Green at 6'1". It's a reason they can be undersized at 6'1" in the paint, but that is the case. But Zay Green, terrific leaper and quick so she can get up.
Duncanville High School, Texas to Tennessee, by the way. You know who else has traveled that path? Tamika Catchings.
Of course. Great one. Tamika, who is now our college, does a terrific job. Love listening to her calls. Rich history out of Duncanville for sure.
First point and nearly 6 minutes there for the black team as Green split the pair. Ryan Howard will check in for Nelson Adona. Howard with Massengill. Caitlin Gilbert on the floor for the white team. A little bit of pressure from the black team. Charlie Collier and Elizabeth Dixon fill out the 5 on offense. Here is Collier, number 2 player in the class, lost it. And it will stay with the white team, 13 to shoot. Kristen Williams, number 1 player in the class. Austin, number 3, with Nicoletti and Henderson, along with Green, all top 13 players right now for the black team. And a foul on the entry. That is the 5th foul of the quarter. It goes against Austin. It's Austin's 4th, by the way. It takes 6 fouls to get you out of this game, being an exhibition. So not even in danger of fouling out, which is not what we want to see. We don't want to see anyone fouling out.
You gotta work real hard to foul in this game.
Yeah. Charlie Collier at the line. 7 points for the Texas-bound forward. Barbers Hill High School in Texas. Did her high school career with 3,539 points. This unfathomable number. What an addition for the Longhorns. Henderson, and we have our first travel of the Jordan Brand Classic.
Well, each team has had their way with turnovers today. 23, and 19. It'd be nice to have that part of the game cleaned up, but you know, that's what you see. These ladies aren't used to playing with each other a whole lot, so there's going to be some inconsistencies. You get turnovers out of that.
Collier. Dixon trying to clean it up. Here's Henderson. 1 minute to go. Kristen Williams on the lead count. 1-point game. Caitlin Gilbert, bound for the national champions in Notre Dame. There's Massengill, guarded by the top player in the country, Williams. Massengill missed the floater. Dixon couldn't get the rebound. And here comes Kristen Williams. Behind the back. Williams fouled. She will go to the line with a chance to give Team Black the lead.
You felt the takeover and the presence from Kristen Williams, the number 1 player in the class this year. Fast break, pushing up the tempo, doesn't care who's in front of her. It's time to score. Quick behind the back, keeps it low, eyes on the rim to finish the play. Misses barely on the and one. Knocks it down on the line. Deadly left-hander. Not a whole lot of points today, just 3 of 11 from the floor, but you see right now just a bit of impact she has when the ball is in her hands. You get the crowd engaged.
Second for Williams. And the black team leads. Kick ball. Nicoletti got her foot on it on the entry from Howard. Williams' future teammate Nelson Udota has checked into the game for the white team. Here is Caitlin Gilbert on the push ahead. Gilbert fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2. Both teams are in the bonus. Every foul makes 2 free throws from here on out. Shooting or otherwise.
Caitlin Gilbert out of Indianapolis. One of the next great guards to go through the Notre Dame program. Of course, Enrique Agunawale. The big things that she did this year. But Caitlin Gilbert, she was getting looks in 7th grade. In fact, she committed to the University of Evansville as a 7th grader. She went to the same high school as Kelly Ferris, Heritage Christian out of Indianapolis. A terrific, historic program. Gilbert, lucky lady going to the Irish.
Timeout taken by the black team and Bob Mackey. Got a 1-point game. 1 more free throw coming for Caitlin Gilbert. It's been a wild up and down game of runs. Nice to see all 24 players in the game have scored as well. So we've had great energy. We've had some terrific offense and then some excellent defense as well. And that's going to be the key in these final 30 seconds or so.
Right, I mean, you would ask what to expect and what to look out for, and you see the skills and the showcasing of them. All these ladies putting displays out of defense, and great blocks, passing, finishing at the rim. So I love this. We got a close game. Time's running down. These
the All-Stars. It's the best players in the country. So let's see who now is the best of the best.
These are the young women that are going to be on your television screens in college, the WNBA, maybe even in international qualifying and Olympic basketball. I mean, these are the faces that you're going to see for the next decade and a half plus.
We have another Diana Taurasi, or Maya Moore, Enrique Ogunbowale in the making.
Right now it's Gilbert for the tie. And she missed it in and out. Nelson Adota tipped it. It's the black team with the ball. White needs a foul or a takeaway. They nearly get one at first. And what do we have here? We had Massengill coming in for the steal, but a foul was called with Henderson on the ground.
Everybody's looking for something. I don't know if it was a look to be contact.
Well, the foul is called against Kristen Williams of Team Black. So it will be white team to the line with Massengill ready for two.
Look at Williams, palms up. That's when you know me. You don't even have to say anything. You put the palms up. Never get the calls returned. I know that. I have tried many a times. I got called for many a technicals. They have yet to reverse a foul.
Well, keep trying.
I try, you know.
Today's your day.
I give them a little love here and then. Gotta be honest about the officiating. See something you don't like, you gotta say it.
2 for 2 for Massengill. A timeout for James Anderson. By the way, terrific job, not just by the players who are here today and this weekend, but the coaches. James Anderson of St. Anthony's, assisted by Keisha Hunt, who's the head coach at Hamilton Heights. For Elizabeth Ballard, for Jasmine Massengill. Dixon Jensen on the bench from the All-Iowa Nike UIBL travel team. Bob Mackey leading the for the black team. Molly Hornbeck out of South Sioux City, Nebraska. Jerome Allen and Seinfeld, UIBL travel team. Well, who's going to make the way down the stretch? 8 of the top 10 ESPN W100 are here. Will be Kristen Williams, Kira Austin, the black team, Carly Collier perhaps, Nelson Adota for the white team.
So many options. You say who would take the last shot, and I mean, I'm comfortable with the ball in the hands of any one of these ladies. They handle big moments well. Their presence out here on the floor, being in Brooklyn, coming off a bright stage in McDonald's game. You're seeing the poise of 17, 18-year-old young women out here, and it's so impressive to watch. Ladies, every year get more and more talented. It's wise beyond years. It's been a fun process to watch, especially seeing them from now and when they graduate from college. The growth in their game, it's phenomenal.
Kristen Williams, the next great start, perhaps for the Connecticut Huskies, will inbound. Or will she? Change it up. Queen Egbo will take it out. Egbo, Williams, Jenna Brown, Shakira Austin, Isabella Nicoletti. Austin's there to retrieve it. Up ahead to Kristen Williams. 2-on-1. Nicoletti from Williams. Black team leads. 16.7 to go. The Florida State-bound Nicoletti puts the black team in front. Now Ryan Howard with 10. Howard, Massengill with 5. Long on the floater. Rebound to Massengill. And she puts it in with 2 seconds to go. Here's Nicoletti for the win. No! Jasmine Massengill, the Tennessee-bound point guard from Hamilton Heights. Her team comes up 1 game short for the national championship a week ago. But today, Massengill, the hero, as the white team wins the Jordan Brand Classic.
That's got to feel so good. What redemption for Jasmine Massengill. She had an amazing tournament at the Geico Nationals, did not come away a national champion, but the game winner in a game where you had a lot of talent, and Massengill, maybe one of the most talented players out there today. The drive, the dish first from Kristen Williams. What a great pass. And Massengill with the floater doesn't get it. Nelson Adota, she's the one that kept it alive and perhaps gave the rebound tip to an open Massengill.
Jasmine Massengill with 8.6 assists. It's going to be a tough pick for the MVP, but even with those numbers, the way she controlled the game in the fourth quarter, the way she moved the ball around, hit the last 2 free throws and the last field goal, she's certainly a contender.
Yeah, I think so. 8.6 assists, the game winner. You got to give it to Miss Tennessee. Jasmine Massengill, what a game. Great energy by both these clubs.
89-88. ESPN2 for the boys.